Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at a figure that is not from, 1997. In fact, this figure is much newer. This is in fact the Black Series Biker Scout. And this is the Black Series packaging, which has been conveniently paper clipped together. It's cool. Hey, there's me. Hey. I mean, it's cool. I like the window box. So it's just that. You sort of got the Death Star or Star Destroyer light pattern here and orange. Number 7 Biker Scout, Star Wars the Black Series. Sorry, I'm kind of trying not to die. And right there you got the picture of the person or the figure. You have a screenshot from the movie in this sort of black brief description. It says the Imperial Biker Scout chases a rebel strike team on the Endor moon. You have all that info there. Yeah. So let's take a look at him. Now I must say, I got a lot more out of this figure than I expected. He was around $10 or so. So they are a little bit on the pricey side. I will point that out. But like I said, I got a lot more out of him than I expected. Just gonna give you kind of a quick overview. So overall, he's a really great figure. His articulation is pretty outstanding. He has a double ball jointed head. And basically, if you'll notice, you have the peg here, the ball joint, and then you have a ball joint going into the neck. So it allows more movement. But I would not recommend ripping the head off like I just did, because if too much pressure is applied on this, it will break, and his head becomes very loose. Then again, it's supposed to be loose, but you can get him to do all kinds of things like this. Head banging. He can be confused. Sassy. Things like that. And the main reason why they did this is that he can look straight ahead or up, versus here's a Sniper Stormtrooper. Oh, what do you know he can do? He can do a little bit more. As for him, he can't look down, but he can. If it were not for that double joint, he could only do that. About right there. But this is so he can ride on the speeder bike. Now I do have one kind of problem about this figure. This is not black plastic, it is white painted plastic. You can tell in a couple places like this right here. Like on the back, you can see where the black paint is scraped off. And you can tell what is and what isn't white plastic. This here is black plastic, if you'll notice, it kind of has a slightly glossier finish than this. That's one of the main way to tell. Now the armor is... Hang on, let me think about how I want to do this. What was I talking about? Articulation. He has a double ball-jointed head, ball-hinged shoulders and elbows, swivel forearms, which kind of sucks. A ball-hinged waist, but it is hindered due to these pouches, but it does not hinder speeder bike riding. Ball-hinged hips, which I did not expect, believe it or not, but yes, he does have ball-hinged hips. So it can be fabulous. Ball-hinged knees and ball-hinged ankles. But the amount of detailing is really good. He has these sort of ammo pouches here, which are attached to these straps, which are attached to his belt. The breastplate with a ranking insignia. He has these sort of aerodynamic type things on his helmet. The vents on the back. His backpack, which is molded to his body, it's non-removable. These canisters here on the back. And attached to his right leg is a holster. Or his right shin. And he carries this, he's sporting a very, very tiny blaster. But if you'll notice what they did with the hands, it's going to be hard to show. But basically they separated the fingers. Like if you can do this, they've separated the fingers right here. Usually, they are separated but only to a certain point. And they're molded and you can't move them. Well, these two fingers on this figure are molded together, basically. It's hard to explain, but it helps get him to hold his blaster. Where's my speeder bike? But yes, he does come with his blaster. And I found out that it's best to put it in the holster, where you either have the grip up against his leg, or like this. Now, I would assume he could indeed hold a standard Stormtrooper blaster. He probably could. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it yet. But, I have a Return of the Jedi concept art book. And he was supposed to have a, like, large rifle on his back, you know, attached to a strap. But they figured they're going to be, you know, riding speeder bikes, and that is going to hinder them, and balance is very important whenever on a bicycle or speeder bike. So this worked out a lot better. Oh yeah, and he has knee pads. And one thing I'd like to point out is the detailing. Again, the wrinkles in the clothes and in the boots even. The sand, or the dirt or whatever. Now let's do a little bit of a size comparison. Here's a standard Stormtrooper, which isn't, you know, that bad. Then again, he's kind of splitting his legs. And his predecessor, or I guess you could say it's his predecessor, the Scout Trooper, or ATRT driver. No. Yeah, ATRT. And you can see some similarities in the helmets. Except this one doesn't have a fin. But there are definitely some noticeable differences in the armor. So if you're a fan of the Empire like I am, if you prefer the Empire over anything, you need this guy in your army. I've spent about 10 minutes talking about a figure. I've got to include something in this video then. Here's my speeder bike, and you can see he's in scale with it. So now to put it on him, him on it. Get it in your hands. Kinda looks like he's dry humping. The seat is the only problem. There we go. That's kind of sort of what it's supposed to look like. I mean, his feet are supposed to be down there, but... So he does indeed fit on a speeder bike. Well, he did. Well, my condolences for the extent of this review, but I don't know, there's just so much to cover. That and I ramble on. You guys said you kind of like this rambling style of video, even if it's for a simple one figure. So nonetheless, hope you guys enjoy this video. So, as always, keep collecting. May the force be with you. Bye.